Hey guys, what's going on? It's Tyson Brown here, and in this video today I'm going to be talking about something that comes up again and again. I get asked this actually quite a lot from my clients in the last couple of weeks, and I've also stressed about this myself in the past. And that's all about the holiday seasons and how not to get fat during the holidays, especially the Christmas because it seems to be the biggest. So I've thought about a couple of ways that we can actually avoid getting fat, and I've put it as simple as I possibly can because I want you guys to be able to implement these things. I don't want to overwhelm you with 10 and 20 different ways because that means it'll stop you from doing it. So I've just got 5 tips today that's really going to help and that you can implement really easily, especially if you're already doing some of these things. And it's really going to help keep off those extra kilos because at the end of the day, if you put on the extra weight now, you're going to have to work way harder in the future to keep it off. So if you start implementing these things, or you do implement these things already, you're going to feel a lot more better and be beating 90% of the population who's going to be putting on weight these holidays. So the first thing I want to talk about is to increase exercising or to keep exercising. So a lot of you already read my blog, I assume you guys are already exercising, but there are some of you who still aren't. So first of all, I want to address the people who aren't exercising. In this week to come, from Monday to Sunday, you're probably going to be enjoying yourself and eating a lot. So what I suggest you do is to start doing some different type of exercising, whether it be getting up in the morning and going for a walk or a run, whether that means going and doing weight training or body weight training during the day. If the gyms are closed, you can still do body weight training. There are great routines you can find out there. Or just any different type of exercising that you guys can do. I don't want to hear an excuse to say the gym's closed because you can do it yourself. You can do body weight exercises. You can go for runs. You can go for hill jogs. You can put a heavy backpack on and do some weight training. You can go up and down the street and find, pull-up bars and chin-up bars and playgrounds and things like that. There's no excuse that you can't exercise. So that's the first thing you can do. It's really simple, but I think you guys need to start incorporating more exercising. And for the people who actually already are exercising, just increase that exercise a little bit more, especially your weight training, because the more muscle you're building in the long run, the more fat it burns and the more calories it burns. So if you're a really lean person, you're going to be burning a lot more calories, which is really good. But if you're not, all you have to do is increase your weight training and do more high-intensity interval training. So there are great programs on there online that you can find, and especially people don't teach you yourself. It's about 15 to 20 minutes, and what it's going to do is help you burn more fat, and in the long run, it's going to help you eat more during these holidays. So you're going to feel less stressed about it, and you're going to feel less guilty, which is really good. So that's number 1. Number 2 is that I suggest you drink more water. This one's very, very simple again, but it will make a big difference for you. So first of all, what I expect you guys to do is to wake up in the morning and have a good glass of water. That's the first thing you want to do. It helps, with your body just to get started during the day because our body's made up mostly of water, and it just helps get that metabolism in place, especially when it's really cold water. So that's the first thing I suggest you guys do. And then when it comes to around eating time, make sure you're always keeping your fluids up, especially when there's going to be Christmas lunches, Christmas dinners, family lunches and things like that, even breakfast. What I think you guys should do is always be drinking a good amount of water before your meal, during your meal, and after your meal. Because this is going to help fill up your stomach more and you're not going to be as hungry, especially before and during your meal. If you're taking good glasses of drinks of water during your meal while you're eating, you're not going to be eating as much because your stomach's going to fill up faster. And especially when you're keeping your fluids up, that hunger level's going to go down and it's going to suppress. Because usually when you actually have that hunger feeling, it's that you're dehydrated and it's not that you're actually hungry. So keeping up those fluids, making sure you're drinking a lot before and a lot during it, just to make sure you're filling up that stomach so you won't overindulge in things, is really another good way to help prevent fat gain and to also not eat as much. The third way is a really good way, and it's always to start with your meals with veggies and protein. Now this is what I think everybody should be doing in general, but especially around the Christmas time because there's so much more unhealthy food you're going to be having, all the cakes and things like that. What I suggest you do is the first meal you have, or the first serving of food you have, is veggies first. So make sure you're getting your greens and also salad. Doesn't matter what type of salad or veggies, just making sure you're getting them in. Preferably not with a lot of olive oil. If you can just get raw salad and raw veggies without the olive oil put on it, that's going to make it a whole lot difference. And if there's going to be no veggies there, there's no harm in you guys going down to Woolworths or going down to Coles or Aldi or wherever you are, buying those steamer pack veggies, chucking them in the microwave for 2 minutes and having them there. it's really good way to get into those vitamins and minerals and to help you get full, because veggies are full of fiber, and fiber helps you get fuller faster, and especially veggies are more lower in calories. So if you're having your veggies first with some protein, what's going to happen is you're going to fill up your stomach faster, like I said, and when you're drinking that water, that's going to add up. So when it actually comes time to the naughty food, you're not going to overindulge in the unhealthy food because you're still going to be mostly full. So you can finish that little piece of cake off, and that'll be it. You won't be scared about going more and more because you'll already be full. And the other thing to put on your plate first is always protein. So the best thing about the Christmas holidays is that there's always going to be chicken, turkey, seafood, and steaks, in my opinion. So they're the best things that can work for you. If you have these meats first, like you get your proteins in, you get your white meat, your red meat, and things like that, that's really going to help. So the only thing is with the proteins, make sure when you're having the chicken and the turkey, try and remove the skin. Even ham is a good source of protein, but don't have too much ham because there could be a lot of sodium in it. So when you're focusing on the protein first and the veggies, what's going to happen is protein is very satiating for your stomach. So when we're incorporating these things together, which is water, protein, and veggies, you will realize how much less you're going to be able to eat of the unhealthy food and how much fuller you're going to feel. So which means you're not actually going to overindulge, and you're going to feel a lot better at the end of the day when you go, okay, look, I only had that piece of cake, or I only had a couple of rum balls and things like that. You're not going to say, oh man, like you're not going to go home hating yourself, which is what I've done in the past. So that's a really good way to help satiate yourself. The fourth way you can improve it is by taking a walk after your meals. So, usually between a Christmas lunch and a Christmas dinner, there's a lot of sitting around going on. Some families go out and kick the football and play cricket and things like that, which is awesome, which is like what I encourage. But for the people who just sit around and do nothing, get your family up and go for a walk. Go for a nice long walk for half an hour, and go and do something. If they don't want to do it, go and do it yourself. Don't make excuses. But if you guys can get up and go for a walk, what's going to happen is you're going to start helping with digestion of the food that you've just eaten, and also you're going to burn off those calories. You're going to go for a walk, you're going to start burning some calories, and then you're going to feel less guilty about yourself eating during the day, and it's going to help prepare you for that next meal. So going for a walk is a simple way that you guys can incorporate after the meals, especially when you've overindulged, because overindulge is the worst. So if you can actually just commit yourself to say, okay, if I overindulge, I'm going to go for a bit more of a walk today, or I'm going to do some more cardio today. Things like that are a great way to help burn more calories and to help make you feel less stressed, because it's not just about overindulging, because once you do it, you're going to feel more stressed and more horrible about yourself, and it's not going to help anybody at the end of the day. And the fifth thing I want to talk about is do not binge until January. For me, what I look at is the holiday season is going from Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day, and then a few drinks on New Year's Eve. That's only 4 days in the year, like 4 days in the holiday season. But you guys probably have different preferences. What I don't suggest though is going from 2 weeks ago all the way until January 15th, because that's your holiday, that's your actual work holidays off. What I suggest is you guys picking some certain days you're going to have some bad food, or suggest stopping at January 31st. Have your drinks and enjoy New Year's Eve, and then go back to normal. You have to set yourself a goal, otherwise you're going to be one of those people who keeps eating and binging all the time, and you're going to keep putting on weight, and then what's going to happen? You're going to get fat. So if you really want to be able to prevent it, make sure you set yourself some goals about when you're going to eat unhealthy, where, the time period. Don't go until your last day, until you're starting back at work. Make sure you give it a set amount of time, and that will be your best way for preventing weight gain. Remember, holidays is all about the time of enjoying yourself with friends and family. So don't get too stressed about, like I did a couple of years ago, and go freak out and not eat any bad food, because it makes you feel worse at the end of the day, and your family and friends are going to look at you and think what's going on? Why can't you enjoy yourself? So make sure you guys incorporate these 5 things into your holiday seasons, but also remember to have a really good time and enjoy it with your friends and family, and try not to overindulge in bad food. So that's all from me today, guys. I hope you implement these things and you don't gain too much weight over the holidays. So have a good Christmas.